Okay, so today we're going to talk about Palestine. Well, it's not going to be an easy subject. First of all, because of the borders, it's pretty much messed up. And also, we're going to look at the population, and the more important, we're going to look exactly how those people live there with Google Street View or 360. Let's see how many they have in that region. But then, I'm going to start with the obvious one, the population. Right now, 5.5, 5.6 million people, and they're rising. The growing rate is pretty much, I would say, all over the place, but stable on the up trajectory, or at least a positive trajectory. Back in 1955, only 1 million people live in this state. They have a growing rate about 1%. That would translate in 10,000 people. Migration was on the minus, so even back then they're losing people. Median age was around 15 years old. Fertility rate 7.8, which is one of those nonsense huge one. Urban population around 40%. Now in 2025, they raised from 1 million to 5.5, 5.6 million people, which is insane. The growing change increasing with 0.70%, so now it's around 1.7%. That will translate in roughly almost 100,000 people. Migrant still on the minus. You can see from the entire history was pretty much on the minus, except a few 2 years, 5 years in region. Migrants right now it's minus 23,000. Median age raised a bit, but not that much. It's 20 years old right now. Fertility rate they go down quite a lot, but still way too much, I would say. 3.2. An urban population around 85%. In the future, they project they're gonna reach by 2050 8.5 million people, and the growing rate is gonna go a bit down, but it's still above 1%. It's 1.37. That will translate in just a bit over 100,000 people, and migration still on the minus with minus 12,000. Let's say median age increased quite a lot at 28 years old, and the fertility rate is still above replacement at 2.3, and the urban population is going to be pretty much 100%. They say 98%, so that will translate roughly in 100%. There's a word that everybody knows. Even with that, you still have both sexes median age life expectancy about 73 years, females 77 years, and males almost 70 years. So there's kind of difference, but not a huge one. You can see they kind of decreased in the recent year, but we're gonna see how that is gonna pick up. Infant mortality rate 17.1, and death under age of 520, which is a huge number, I would say. When you look at the pyramid, it's pretty much a solid base, and you can see where that population it is right now. It's like the youngest one out of a lot of them, and they get older, they get less and less. We have here a surplus in male population, as pretty much almost every single country. Now, from what I understand, when you check the Israeli video, when I make that, they didn't include this population, but who knows exactly. Those numbers are pretty jammed, let's say, scrambled together. Here they say we have on the regions, and they say they are around 6.1 million people in those two territories mainly, and we have Arabs, they call it the Palestinian, 5.3 million, and Jewish population around 750,000 of them. So you can see the area. Now I'm not gonna go that much into detail. It's pretty much a mess in this region. Nothing I think can save this region from the war. It doesn't matter how much time you wait, you're always gonna have a war here sooner or later. We're gonna look at those regions, like in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. As much as I can, I would not have borders here, so I have to be careful not to go outside the range, but it's gonna be interesting to see how those people live. That's my main topics here. Now, the economy of the Palestine, I am amazed they have economy, I have to say. In some places the GDP is around 10 billion US dollars, so yeah, not that much. GDP growth is like minus 32% in 2024 in West Bank, minus 21 in Gaza, minus 84. Clearly it's a war there, so obviously like I say, I'm amazing that they have still economy. It's GDP in 2012 10 billion, so right now probably it's gonna be like less than a billion or something like that, so keep in mind that. GDP per capita, it's around 876 in the Gaza Strip and 2000 in the West. So clearly you do much better in the West Bank. A lot of them from agriculture, industry, services. That doesn't matter in my opinion that much. Those are the main exporters. Obviously going to be the Israel 80% and the main importer of the Israel 56%. Now history, well, that's a tricky one. In this region, you can see here, I'm not gonna stay that much. There is, let's say, a hot region, always was, always will be in that one. And we can look here at the present day. You can see back in the day when it was controlled by British, you can see right here, British Palestine, whatever you want to call it, was a much bigger territory. Now it's pretty much got taken over by Israel. If you agree with that or not, it doesn't even matter. I'm not here to make history lessons most of the time. Now I am only interested in exactly how those people live, and that it is the main event. We're gonna start with Gaza Strip because the most obviously in this region. We're gonna see exactly how those people live. Now keep in mind those are most likely before the war that is happening right now, so pretty much everything we see here probably is knocking down, so it's not that much left, but it's interesting to see what they have, at least how they used to live, and if there is something that actually worth saving or not, because it's a very jam population here in such a small area. I have no idea why somebody would choose to live like that, and not if you have an opportunity to pretty much leave the region, but probably it's gonna be that easy. Yeah, here is pretty interesting. I would say nice area. Anything that doesn't have that many people in one small area usually looks okay, look decent. But when you go to those jammed, even the store, look at how jammed it's like. It feels like a Chinese store to me. When I go in my country, one of those Chinese shops, and I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible. This is how it feels, very cramped. Pretty much if you turn a bit faster, you're gonna hit every single item in the store. Most of those things are from inside, which is a problem for me. This is look like a doctor office. No, I have no idea what is this, but this is how I think this is how we look. Probably a ear doctor or something like that. It is pretty interesting. At least it's, I would say, looks clean, but who knows exactly how they. Oh, we have a street view here. Oh, that's something. So it's some sort of the market here. Yeah, you can see. I can expect that, and keep in mind, this is especially the northern part. Probably it's heavily bombed by now. So what we saw there probably is knocking down. But some area looked, let's say, decent. That was a museum park or whatever. But I'm interested in those urban areas, but it doesn't seem to have any 360 there. Extreme, very rarely. Now, those type of building, it's absolutely horrible. It's just pretty much areas where, and look at it, they already bombed it, so it is pretty much gone. Those type of building absolutely horrible. It just, I don't see the point. Like I said, most of those buildings in the last 100 years, I would say, they was built just to cope with a massive increase in population. They have nothing even remotely nice or beautiful about them, especially in the architecture area. In the interior, probably it's a bit better, but depends on who lives there. But usually, those are like, I believe in the next 100 years we're gonna start knocking them down because it's just such a horrible places to live. And hopefully, with the decrease of population, that's actually gonna happen much faster. Now in this area, yeah, I don't find again nothing great here. I have no idea what's happening there. And this is from 2022. So just before the war started, let's say. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. It's just, I never understand those, like I said, those nonsense numbers here that pretty much destroy every single one of us right now. Look at this, those nonsense numbers. And when I talk with other people, say, oh, it's about the culture. This is how they do it. It's just nonsense to me. And not just here in Palestine, here also in Africa the same. Yeah, a lot of garbage here, clearly. And that's, again, I blame the population, not the government. That looks like an expensive car there. Housing, some of them seems to look living pretty good lives, but they have garbage immediately outside their home, so I'm not sure exactly how well I can say those people live. But judging by the houses, like I said, the house at least looking pretty good. This is the southern part, so probably not that heavily bombed, I would say, but who knows. Some area, this is a hospital, I think. Yeah, Algerian hospital specialist. Was that important? um, Again, it's hard for me to just, when you have so many people jammed together here, it's just, what do you expect is gonna happen? It's like, there's no way it's gonna have some great architecture or great standard of living. They are not, like I say, anything worse, but judging by, like I say, now they have a war there, so probably everything that was remotely nice, that was gone, 100%. Not that many 360 on the shoreline, which is weird. Probably that was gonna be the best part. Again, a lot of garbage here, no road whatsoever. So it doesn't matter if you bomb those this Gaza Strip. You pretty much, I think, in some case, you're gonna make a service because you're gonna get rid of those ugly buildings. Pretty much, they don't have roads to worry about. Probably as a horrible warfare to just fighting those demolish area. But hey, that depends on the army. They have some boats here, probably the fishing boats. I believe, look at this, some of them, this guy has a pool, some of them living great lives here. I will not build a house in Gaza Strip when you have, like I said, you're just pretty much waiting for an invasion, for a war. Spend my money there, but yeah, not that many 360 here. We're gonna move. That was Gaza Strip. Not that great, I have to say. Now we're moving with the West Bank. Hopefully I'm gonna keep a line of the border as much as I can, because again, we don't have exactly a border, but here probably the life is much better. I will still not build a house there, especially an expensive one, but look at this 360 looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, we start good. At least we have a good start here, and we have the opening to the Dead Sea. If I remember correctly, Israeli doesn't have a, oh no, they have a part of the Dead Sea. I thought they don't have any of them under their control, but no, they have a part of that. They control some of those Dead Sea. Obviously, when you go to Israel to visit, you have to visit the Dead Sea. Here, a bit of garbage here, which I don't like exactly, but like I say, in any single country that you're gonna go, you're gonna see rich people and poor people, mostly poor people. When I have my discussion, sometimes I just get bored. Oh, look, this look nice. Yeah. And yeah, I said that it looks like the Dead Sea start to just shrinking, and this image kind of confirmed that. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe once a week, maybe once a month, depends on my state. I just open the ChatGPT and have some discussion with them, and this week I think we talk about the poverty, just still make those videos, and like was like 50 to 55% of the people living absolute poverty, and another 30-35% of them live in low medium class, so still poverty. And that was, I think, extremely interesting to say, because most of the population, they are still extremely poor. I mean, they just don't have nothing, and that is pretty much over because of the overpopulation, I would say. And it doesn't matter how much I repeat this, people are still not gonna understand. If you don't have the money to have the great life, you should never make a kid. But again, a lot of people say from social pressure and all that nonsense, but all of that is gonna make us poor, every single one of us, and that has to stop, and probably it's gonna stop at some point, hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, we're gonna see how that is gonna play, especially here in Europe. I hope they're gonna stop migration as much as possible, like a 10 times X at least. Hey, they have snow here, and start taking care of the native population better, because this nonsense with keep the wages small as possible with migrants has to stop. Well, they have a good road here, so see, they already live better here in West Bank. Now, I'm not sure exactly how easy it is to emigrate here, but it seems like a better opportunity, in my opinion. You just even have even a nice geography, more land. Yeah, they have some new house. Look at this. Actually, it's pretty good. Now, I don't want to mistake it. I know some parts are under Israeli settlements, and I don't want to mix that up, but that was look like an Israeli settlement to me. Yeah, it's gonna be hard again to just those streets you probably are by the Israeli settlements. I say I can check the numbers, but yeah, those looks like just by the logo it looks like more Israeli in this region. That's why they looking how they looking. So it's not that bad actually. Those garbage on the I don't know, I will just spray paint on those just to say something there on the fences. Yeah, this is look like Israeli settlement more likely. I see some number plates. Some of them are yellow, some of them are white. I guess the white one are from the Palestinian government and the yellow one are from Israeli, but maybe I'm mistaken, I don't know. Now, like I say, in this region is never gonna be peace. I don't care how many people are gonna say gonna go there. Oh, we reach peace for 5 days or 5 years. Doesn't matter. I don't think never gonna be peace there, but just the way it is. Yeah, but judging by between Gaza and somebody just take a fire here. Judging by those Gaza and West Bank, I believe the visiting hours. This is a Christian one. I believe that West Bank it's a much better place to live so far. Let me show we are still in the West Bank area now. This is a very well made street view. Wow, that's a weird to judge here. On one side you have some nice houses, and back then it was pretty much a field. This one it's like a prison looks like. Yeah, it's much better place to live here. Now I have no idea how, let's say this. Damn, some people doing very well here. It's gonna be hard to, I guess, to emigrate from one place to another, but probably it's gonna be easier because they are at least under the same government control. Who knows? I mean, the Gaza Strip, from what I understand, they are from some terrorist group, whatever. But the West Bank looks just a bit better. But yeah, probably a lot of garbage here. I don't like it. Now we have, yeah, and this is 2017, so probably they change a bit by then. The road, the outside them, so far look pretty good. I mean, no potholes, no bomb dropping at least in 2012. So yeah, I would say a lot of that. Again, that's some weird things because we expect everything being bad here. Not one thing just makes sense. In Gaza probably is the truth right now, but here in West Bank you kind of expect the same thing, and it's not exactly the case. And it's a nice region at some point. I have no idea what they're doing there, but yeah, the economy is still shut, let's call it like that. The problem, like I say, in some area you have Israelis, some area you have Palestinians. Have no idea. This one, I think there are Israelis here in 2012, still looking good. So by now probably looks even better. Those houses, the house like that is nonsense. I don't like it. Not even this one, I don't like it. Those in the background probably looks a bit better, but not by much. Yeah, I have no idea. Those license plates, it looks Israeli to me, but I'm not sure. And again, this is maybe they changed it by now, and I'm not sure. It looks good. It looks like a new settlement. That's why I think it could look like an Israeli one, but it feels a bit far. But who knows? Let me check the border again. West Bank is pretty big. It's not that small. It's a lot. This one looks like a Palestinian region. Oh yeah, we have some license number here. It says Palestinian. This is 2021. Oh, so pretty. Oh, that's a nice Mercedes. A lot of garbage here. I have no idea why those. What they're not olive trees, but something. Again, somebody's doing very well here. Some others they not doing so well. Again, overpopulation. This is exactly what's happening when you have overpopulation. anyone stop caring about each other and anyone is just pretty much from themselves. Suddenly, like no buildings or something like that. It just looks pretty new to me. This one is not. This is horrible, but this one just a touch better, not by much. So yeah, between them, clearly, even before the war, West Bank. Oh, this is the limit of the West Bank. That's interesting. Let's see that. The West Bank was a much better place to live. Now even much more the difference. Oh, we have some, yeah, those are Palestinian license number, and it's 2020, so when the pandemic, or actually February, probably just before the pandemic hits. I have no idea what's happened with that garbage there, but I don't like it at all. This is a store for cosmetics. They have those there. Yeah, those garbages here. I know it's more cool. They protect the cartridge, but I know that it's more convenient just to throw it outside. But still, you don't want to see that every time you go to work. Yeah, West Bank, it looks much better even geographically than Gaza Strip. I have no idea why they still keep those. Probably because they like the open to the sea. Otherwise, I don't see the point. It's a horrible place to live, just for flat land with buildings jammed together, and there is no hope for actually making a good urban area there. But probably from the political reasons. This one looks at least a bit more empty, a bit much more empty than we saw in Gaza. This is interesting. So I believe those Palestinian towns are pretty much no 360 whatsoever, and those with Israeli settlements much more made by garbage by the Google with the Street View, and you can actually see what's happening there. Now in those regions, again, the problem, it is quite a big area, but not that big enough to just support that many people, like 5 point something million just here. So how many it was? 5.5 million. But a few of them was gonna be in the Gaza Strip, but still probably 5 million. Look at this, those people are living pretty good. I mean, the house doesn't look that bad. It looks brand new, at least well maintained. Now I'm not gonna judge the architecture that much, but not on my taste. But yeah, some of them, they look like they have a good life there. But can you imagine if they have 10 times less the population, how much better they're actually gonna live? But from some reason, they start with only 1 million. And even if they stay at 1 million, probably it's gonna still much better than they're doing today. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. Like I say, it's never gonna be peace in this region. I don't care how many people's gonna say and how many agreements they're gonna have. It's just not suited for that. Just like I say, humans are not made to live together. It doesn't matter which they are. Those are some expensive cars. For 2000, how much they have economy per capita was not even 2000. Was like, no, Gaza Strip, West Bank. And that was probably in 2018 or whatever. No, in 2012. So probably it's gonna be minus like 1,000 per person. Clearly those people having much more than that. So yeah, that's a weird one to take. But yeah, overall I would say not so bad. Especially the geography is pretty nice. Now visiting, those are Jewish. Look at this. So clearly they visit it looks pretty much horrible here. They visit the countryside. But yeah, peace is never gonna be here. Understanding all that things that everyone tries to. What is here? Oh, it's just a river probably there, and that's the line. Oh yeah. From above look pretty nice. But yeah, I don't think that, again, no peace. There never was peace from hundreds of years in this region. It's not gonna be now just because we are here. What else? Economy pretty extremely bad. Yeah, Gaza Strip is pretty much over. I have no idea why they, like I said, they keep it. This region, West Bank, it looks much better. Probably I will go with a much better agreement with Israeli to keep the West Bank as Palestinian as possible and moving the just pretty much population there, because in the Gaza Strip, well, they have some interest, like 100%. They keep the border with Egypt pretty close to in case something happens. But yeah, I would not want to live in this region. Probably the poorest population is gonna live in Gaza, and those who are just a bit better off gonna go into the West Bank. Now, West Bank is pretty big. If you Google it, and let's see how big it is. I mean, look at this. It's huge compared with Gaza. Even with Israel, it takes a lot of space. They have those walls nonsense, but again, they try to separate themselves from other people. Like I say, humans are not made to live with other humans, just the way it is. Now, clearly, the Israeli probably, even the poorest one, they have a much better life than the medium class of the Palestinian, or even a bit more than the upper middle, but still, like I say, always gonna be a problem in the region. It doesn't matter what you do there, just the way it is. The architecture, again, it's concrete, bricks, and business as usual. Here, look at this one, probably from Gaza. Even if all of those was untouched by bombs, it will still look horrible. So yeah, now who knows? Maybe they have a chance to just start over, but with an architecture like this, I have no idea where we can start and what we can actually rebuild from that, but it is what it is. Now, that was the video. If you're living in one of those areas, I highly doubt that you watch the videos, but if you live in those, even probably gonna live in Israel, I'm interested about your opinion, how you think about Gaza Strip and also the West Bank, and how you think, by your opinion, this region should look.